This 26 Sports and CCTV high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
And welcome back to Cadillac High School. Jay Simon alongside Ryan Biller. Cadillac Vikings lead the Mount Pleasant Oilers 29-28 as we start third quarter action. Oilers with the ball. Peyton Fountain will trigger. Tip Baker harassing Fountain. Watusik, nice little pump fake to get Benson off the ground, but he can't get it to go. And Jacob Kahani ripping down the rebound. And Keegan Brooks' bounce pass taken away by the Oilers.
There by Joseph Ostrowski.
Joseph Ostrowski with a gorgeous Euro step, but couldn't get the floater to go. Boy, Jacob Kahani almost went to McBain on that Euro step. My goodness. I don't blame him. I bid on it too. I'm up here in the bleacher balcony and I bid on it.
That was a good move.
Vikings working it around the perimeter, trying to find a gap. Kahani working against Huneman. That is some size against size right there.
That was a little indecision here by the Vikings. They've lost a little step in their offensive movement.
Baker finds Kahani in the middle. Soft hands from the big man. Gets his first bucket.
Great pass there by Tip Baker. Dribbling baseline. Find the big man in the middle.
Huneman for three. And Vinny Genema using those pogo sticks inherited from his dad. Pulls down the board. Seriously. Tom Genema is ridiculous.
No joke.
Still, at my age.
I think I remember playing against Tom a couple times.
Keegan Brooks for straightaway three. Keegan Brooks picking up where he left off in the first quarter.
He's able to set his feet and get a good stroke without being disturbed by the defense.
And Peyton Fountain answers from the corner.
Oh, someone got to pick him up.
Oh, my goodness, Watusik. I'm not sure who they're calling the foul on.
I think Coach Benzenberg's wanting the basket to also count.
That was definitely not on the – well, I shouldn't say definitely. It did not look like it was on the glass to me.
No. I don't.
They called that on Watusik?
Is he the closest to the play, Jay?
Listen, I think Mr. Bartholomew is a very impressive official.
Oh, he
I'm not sure what he saw there. I just really don't know. He was much closer than us. I trust his call.
Absolutely.
I don't know what he saw there. I thought Mason Watusik went up and just
there was a lot of ball.
That off
there was
the
a lot
backboard.
of ball on that play.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, sometimes, though, those plays that are big like that sometimes draw your attention. You see the play at the upper body area or up around the rim, and you don't see the lower body.
No, they're trained to look at everything. Absolutely. That's why they're down there and we're up here, right? Absolutely.
I can appreciate the athleticism of Watusik, though, there going up and getting that ball. Oh, my word.
Well, McBain Glen Lake Tuesday, not to bring up that radio game again, but Michael Hooker Jr. of the Ramblers chased down block like that, but didn't touch it. I mean, volleyballed it right off the backboard. Really? It was unreal. Unfortunately, I think it just got Glen Lake going because they rolled and pulled away from there.
From that point.
Yeah, it was weird. It was,
it's amazing,
instead of firing his own team up, it fired them up.
Weird. Yep. But big plays are I was always talking about, I brought up Jeff McDonald's name again, but he's been such a great inspiration and coach to me.
Absolutely.
There's etched in stone phrases that Coach McDonald has said of what is big plays sometimes send a streak. And basketball is definitely a game of runs. He always used to say, and he's right, a game of runs, and the big plays spur those runs.
Joseph Ostrowski stepped in front of that pass beautifully, looking for the foul on the other end, isn't going to get it. And here come the Vikings. Maddox Hoagland.
That was right on, too, Joe. Jay.
Joe's taller and a better actor.
Yeah.
Joseph Ostrowski for three.
Wow.
Yes. 36-34. Vikings still lead by 2.
It's a missed opportunity at this time for the Vikings. Turned right around and dropped in a 3 for the Oilers. Brings that score to a 2-point spread.
Brooks from the corner.
Kind of rushed that one, didn't have his feet quite set.
Nope.
That was great.
Watusik, tough layup try.
Yeah, good hustle, Cooper Benson there.
Coach Benzenberg calling out the play.
Oh.
Nobody gave the heads up to Vinny Genema. Nearly had his pocket picked from behind there by Jackson Ostrowski. Cooper Benson for 3. Genema trying to tap it out, but collected by Joseph Ostrowski. Fountain, quick 3 from the corner.
Boy, they like to shoot it too. They've been putting them up at pretty regular pace here in the second half.
They've hit 2 in this quarter, and the first 2 is Ostrowski with another steal.
Ooh.
And he finishes. He's got 7 now, 5 in the quarter.
Another sophomore, Joseph Ostrowski, number 12. He's got
tied at
great
36.
instincts. Great instincts. He's had a few steals tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Really sees the floor well.
Brooks working against Jackson Ostrowski. Brooks off the mark. Here come the Oilers. Watusik crosses up Benson. Joseph Ostrowski for 3. And the Oilers have taken their biggest lead of the game, 39-36, with 2:20 remaining here in the third. And Coach Benzenberg wants to talk it over. He'll take a full timeout.
Yeah, we talk about runs, Jay, right there. And we were talking about it. And the Vikings had missed that 3. Came down the floor, and the Oilers hit a 3 on the right side of the floor. And went down and got a stop again and got a steal and brought down and hit another 3. It's just that momentum streak right there in the span of about a minute. Was big right now. The Oilers have some, the fans tonight are giving them some energy there.
And for a team that couldn't hit the broadside of a barn from outside the arc in the first half, they've knocked down probably 3 of 5, 3 of 6 here in the second.
They're very similar to the Vikings. Gosh, it's just their teams are very, very, very similar. They're streaky, don't leave them open. Defense has been the name of the game, I think. You know, if you leave good shooters open for long enough, they're going to start knocking them down.
Well, and the Oilers' defense, really since the start of the second quarter, has found another level.
Yeah. Well, halftime was good for them to reset. Coach Shaw has done a good job of having them focused coming out. They're playing a little bit more confidence right now. I think the Vikings just have been unfortunately missing a shot or 2 here and there, providing that run for the Oilers. So we'll see what the Vikings have coming back in.
Oilers lead by 3. Genema. Raphael, who's checked into the game. Back to Genema. Defended by David Israel. There's Brooks with Watusik on him. Raphael for 3. In and out.
Ooh.
That's going to be a tough call.
Yeah, it is.
And they're going to say it's going to stay with the Vikings.
I was going to say Vinny was further out of bounds. I didn't see it hitting there. I don't have the greatest angle, but that was probably the call I would have had as well. The Vikings keep the ball.
Brooks will inbound.
Oh.
And they're going to say Baker traveled. Took a little bit of a shuffle step back. I think that's a good call.
Well, when you receive possession of the ball, I think I talked about this last time we were on air, Jay.
Yep.
If you have 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the air as you receive possession of the ball, you've already established your pivot foot. And if you go to make a quick move to the bucket and you pick up that pivot foot, it's a travel.
Right.
And
so
I think that's what
your
kinda happened
recommendation is to catch
Jump,
it in the
catch
air,
it 2 feet in the air.
and then you can establish whichever one you
Absolutely.
want.
Square your shoulders in the air to the bucket.
And we get a foul on the floor.
Oh.
Brooks slaps it away.
Yeah,
Good
that's a good
defense from
play.
Keegan Brooks. Tip Baker, tough move, is going to draw the foul. No, they're going to say offensive.
High school is definitely different than NBA.
Yeah,
Jay,
Ezekiel
and he was
Barnett
down
did a
there
nice
pretty-
job of hustling down and putting himself in
Yeah.
position. I honestly, though, thought he was shifting under him after Baker had elevated, but it's a tough call.
hard.
It's bang, bang.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
I need to make sure I say this, and I'm going to say it right now. There's a shortage of officials right now.
Yeah.
These guys are working. Seriously, these guys are working. Men and women are working sometimes 4 and 5 nights a week. As Brooks with a
Great
steal. And the lay-in. Good job by Keegan Brooks, who's picking up the defensive pressure.
Well, they
Minute to go here in the third.
They were
But there's
stuck
a
in-
shortage of officials.
Absolutely.
And so I don't want to sound critical. I don't think
No.
anybody's above criticism.
No.
But these guys are hard working, and if they weren't out here doing this, you wouldn't have anybody to call these games as Watusick drains the jumper.
Definitely from Watusick, he's got that crossover step back jumper down. He tried that in the first half and it wasn't successful. That time he had a good rhythm about him. It's a little
Anyway.
different pace here in the last 45 seconds
Yeah,
or so.
the game, the Vikings especially, were a little stagnant offensively, and suddenly they've picked it up.
Well, the timeout by
defensively.
Coach Benzenberg was probably good, and that created that change in momentum.
Vinny Genema faking the handoff to Maddox Hoagland. I was
was
watching
pretty.
that thinking to myself,
Yep.
that's the exact same inbound play they ran previously, only this time he doesn't hand it off. Everybody bites on Hoagland, and Genema lays it in.
That was great.
"13 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Mason Watusick working against Benson. Step back long jumper. And the two
Oh, I think he's
Oilers
on the-
both
he's
had
on.
possession of that ball. And so it's going to go to Cadillac with 2.8 seconds left. Benson gets it blocked. Put a block in the books for David Israel. And at the end of 3, the Mount Pleasant Oilers have taken a 41-40 lead heading into the final 8 minutes of play here from Cadillac High School. You're watching My News 26 and CCTV's presentation of boys non-conference basketball action. We'll be right back after this.